As has already been reported, Donald Trump needs to post a bond in the indictment having to do with the attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. He was indicted in Fulton County, Georgia for that reason. He's facing 13 counts in that case. And he is turning himself in today. And we're just learning that Trump is not paying his full $200,000 bond, but instead putting 10% toward it and working with a local Atlanta bonding company to pay it for him. It's also been reported pretty widely at this point that Trump is not paying his own legal defense through his own personal funds. He's using the money that he raised through campaign fundraising, through his small dollar donors. And so it is incredible to see a man who likes to identify as a successful businessman, a billionaire, just unable to post $200,000 bond.
I mean, look, there's two possibilities. The less likely one is he's so broke he's even worried about $200,000. I mean, he's lost $400 million twice. He's unbelievably bad at business. And the only way I think he's staying afloat is those Saudi golf deals. They did Live, then they bought PGA, and they're funneling millions of dollars into Trump's golf courses. But I think that him running out of money is the less likely possibility. It's just he can't help himself. He's so cheap. And Rudy Giuliani had to go to a bail bondsman too, because Giuliani's dead broke.
Right.
He went and begged Trump for money. And here's a guy who knows where all the bodies are buried. And Trump cannot have him turn, right? And Trump's like, no, I don't want to give you money. Even though he's sitting on a couple $100 million defense fund, right? And so he's got the money. That's why it's so dumb not to pay the whole thing. It's not gonna matter. It's just, he thinks, well, maybe I'll get out of it. Maybe I won't have to pay. Maybe I'll just, and then I can take that legal defense fund and say, oh, we're working on it at Mar-a-Lago, and I had to charge rent to you guys at Mar-a-Lago, and I had to increase the rent. And that's what he did with Trump Tower and campaign donations, because he's a slime ball. He can't help himself.
There is an upside to being treated as though you are not above the law, because you behave as an individual who knows that your actions have consequences. Donald Trump has gotten in trouble with the law in the past, right? The settlement, the giant settlement that he had to pay in regard to defrauding students with Trump University is one of the examples. However, more often than not, he has been treated as though he is above the law. And when you are used to that kind of treatment, you really do think you can get away with murder, right? I mean, he's literally said that he thinks he can get away with murder. His fans will still love him if he shot someone on Fifth Avenue.
You're right, it's quite literal in that sense. And guys, remember, he has done massive tax fraud his entire life. Part of how his dad accumulated the $413 million that he gave to Spoiled Donnie was tax fraud. And so for a guy who's gotten away with, and remember all the stories we did where he would hire undocumented immigrants for all of his construction projects and his golf courses, etc., and never held to account. He would work with mobsters, never held to account. And so for a guy that privileged, justice looks like injustice. He's like, oh, I'm being held to account like every other person, like these unwashed masses.
Yeah, and look, I also bring that up because of the fact that the co-conspirators who have been charged along with him in Georgia are starting to get real salty over the lack of financial help he has provided. His former campaign lawyer, Jenna Ellis, put out a tweet, or an X just yesterday, just incredibly salty about the fact that he hasn't been helping him out.
Of course not, he never helps anyone. So all those January 6th guys, the other day, yesterday on Tucker Carlson's show, he said, Tucker asked him about January 6th, he said, it's about love. Those guys, it's all about love and unity. Those guys are the most loving people. Okay, then why didn't you pay for their defense?
They're
they did it for
turn on you. That's the point I'm trying to make. He really does think he's above anything terrible happening to him, including one of his now former close allies turning on him. Because look, I mean, I forget the official who said this in an interview just yesterday, but the point that he was trying to make was, listen, these are people who have dirt on you. And the way that these prosecutions work is it'll go on for so long, they're gonna bleed these co-conspirators dry, financially speaking. And they're gonna get desperate. They're not gonna want to be represented by a public attorney. They're gonna want their own private attorneys. And so they might eventually cooperate and they might give the prosecutors all the dirt you're hoping they don't give them. So we'll see how that plays out, but I do think he's playing with fire if he thinks that he can just use and abuse people around him without any consequences.
No, I love it. I love that he's doing that. At first, I got no love for the Rudy Giuliani's of the world. The fact that he had to pull in to a bail bondsman and might have a bounty hunter after him next if he doesn't pay up, etc. Look, he's being treated like everyone else, and that's terrific, and that's justice. And I got no love for those guys, but Trump is a bona fide idiot.
He is.
I mean, if I was in his situation, I would pay for their attorneys, I would pay for their salaries. You got all that money that you got from the MAGA suckers. What are you holding on to it for, you weirdo, greedy criminal? Because he can't help himself. So one of those guys, if not a lot of those guys, are gonna turn on him because they're desperate.
Yeah.
And so when they turn on him, he's in a world of trouble. He can't help himself.
Michael Cohen should have been a cautionary tale for Trump, but he doesn't learn lessons. So,
but what happened with Michael Cohen? Michael Cohen turns on him and says, "Yeah, we did hush money payments." Goes to jail, and then prosecutors don't indict Trump, his co-conspirator, for years and years and years. So Trump thought, oh, okay, you see, I'm above the law. It doesn't matter if they turn on me.
Yeah.
These loser Democrats are never going to prosecute me. And so, but now they are prosecuting him. It's a new day, and he still hasn't caught on. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.